the size doesn't matter. It definitely doesn't matter, because even being the tiniest, or rather one of the tiniest nation in the world, the nation that we are going to talk about has done wonders. And in Google, if you just type who is the biggest manufacturer of motherboard in the world, that will throw up one country's name, and the city is Taipei, and I'm talking about Taiwan. Exactly. In this video, it's a fantastic international sort of a video, because we are talking about the international connections that Presidency University has for our students, and we'll be talking to a special person, and we'll be talking to the Director of International Affairs, Dr. Shivaperumal Sampath, who's along with us, and we'll make sure what are all the connections and what are all the affairs and what are all the deep discussions that will be happening through our students overseas as well. And because it is international, we've got two camera shots, and one for the close-up as well for our man who's here. And we have Dr. Shivaperumal with us. Fantastic to have you.
Thank you.
First of all, that day where the Taiwan Center had launched, that was a really fantastic day, isn't it? So just take us through with that first. Who were the dignitaries and what happened on that day?
Yeah. So it was on 27th of December. We had a great honor of hosting His Excellency Ambassador Bhushan Garg, who is Ambassador for India for Taiwan. He's called as a representative, and we had a Director General from Chennai, from TECC, and we had a Director of Education Division from Delhi. So we had 5 people from the embassy who had inaugurated our Taiwan Education Center. It's a first of its kind in the state of Karnataka. So we never had such a Taiwan Education Center in the state of entire Karnataka, and the same center is available in IIT Madras, IIT Bombay. Such a big institution have similar Taiwan Education Center, and really it was a great moment in the history of Presidency University to have the ambassador in the campus to sign an MOU with the embassy directly and set up this center in the state for the first time.
Lovely. And just talking about that experience, what is your experience, Shivaperumal? Where are you coming from? Where did you finish your studies? And how did you get into the international affairs range with Presidency University as well?
Before coming into Presidency, I had been working in a deemed to be university in Chennai for 16 years at various capacities as a dean, director, deputy director, heading the R&D programs and international relations. So I have been working in international relations for more than 9 years. Maybe in the 9 years period, we had nominated close to 500 students to various semester abroad programs, especially a lot of them to Taiwan especially.
Right.
And in my earlier institution, we had close to 200 MOUs across 32 countries for students to get international exposure.
Lovely.
And so maybe basically I am an electronics engineer. Having, maybe you rightly said, electronics is more close to Taiwan, heart of Taiwan.
Yes.
So they are the biggest exporter of semiconductor in the world. So having an electronics engineer, maybe I had experience of visiting Taiwan 4 or 5 times. So the living conditions in Taiwan, everything which we are going to talk about. So getting into Presidency, I just joined here 3 months ago with my 9 years of international exposure. So hoping to get a lot more experience for our Presidency students in terms of international arena.
Superb, superb. So he's actually traveled the number of teats that a man has, 32. 32 teats in the world. So 32 visas?
Not obviously, you know, European doesn't require.
Right.
It's a good experience.
Right, fantastic. And you know, when you were talking about your experience, I was like wondering, you know, actually you look young, you know, you don't look like Dean. You've achieved so many things in probably an young age itself.
Okay.
You know, that sort of thing, that doubt came into my mind. And also talking about young and everything, healthy is what we are trying to do in this world. And of course, Taiwan was the first nation to be actually COVID free. You know, they were the first nation to actually tell to the world that COVID is there, and they took upon the mighty nation, and we don't have to mention the name of that country, everybody knows it, and they said, okay, this is what it is, and we will be the first nation to also say we are COVID free. So this also helps our students to get closer to Taiwan more, right? So actually, what are we doing for our students when in Taiwan Education Center, along with the Presidency University's tag on their neck?
So as you know, it's a tag for the students. Once we have a Taiwan Education Center, every university in Taiwan recognizes our university, because it's the Taiwan Education Center which we set up at Presidency University is recognized by the Ministry of Education from Taiwan. Without their approval, we cannot set up education center. So once we had that recognition from the Ministry of Education education itself in Taiwan. So every university wants to collaborate with us. I am happy to share at this juncture that when the ambassador visited here, we had signed 7 MOUs on the same day with the Taiwan universities. In the presence of ambassador, the presidents and vice presidents from Taiwan have joined online. We have exchanged 7 MOUs. More advantageously, after that, having the information reaching all the universities, we had 8 more universities coming forward to collaborate with us. So totally we have 15 MOUs with the Taiwan universities. Marvelous. In a short time of just 100 days.
Marvelous. So in these centers, in these universities, when you say recognize our students, again, see, I want to make it very clearly to everybody who's watching our channel again, the syllabuses and the courses will not be in Taiwanese, or will it be in English, or how is that?
No, actually the partnership with the Taiwan is for especially our students can go there for a 1 semester and study and come back and get our degree. That's a major thing which we will be looking at. So as far as student exchange is concerned, there is no extra tuition fee. It's whatever is the fees which is being paid to the Presidency University. Within the fees, our students will get to do 1 or 2 semesters, not only 1 semester. If a student wants to do in the BTech 8 semester, 2 semester in a Taiwan university and come back, they can take advanced courses in electronics in Taiwan without paying any tuition fee. They will just do their living expense and come back. That's one opportunity which is there. And more than that, they can learn Mandarin Chinese. As you in the earlier you said, the companies like Foxconn, which is the biggest manufacturer for Apple, they set up units in India, especially when the ambassador visited here, he indicated the Taiwan Trade Center is coming very close to your university. He indicated in his speech, if you speech, so he indicated, having located in Bangalore, the Taiwan Trade Center is coming very close to our university campus. It is going to bring a lot of advantage to our students, even in terms of their career perspective. So the Mandarin Chinese language learning is going to add a lot more value to their career.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's just the learning of the language, because I always believe, you need to learn the language where you live. That becomes such a big advantage for everybody, and it's just Mandarin as the language per se only. And it's not going to do anything with mainland China. Nothing.
No, nothing.
It's very, very clear, because we want to be very clear in the video, because we want to make sure our students get Taiwan's benefits and not any other country's benefits that we are talking about. And also talking about the international center that Presidency University has. And apart from Taiwan, do we also have relations with other countries as well as of now?
Yes. So within this 100 days, we are able to get collaboration with close to 26 universities from 10 countries, which includes Taiwan as well. In addition, we have concluded MOUs with US universities, maybe 4 or 5 US universities.
Like which states can you just imagine?
In US, the universities are like maybe University of Wisconsin, Madison, we are getting into MOU, which is in top 20 in the world. So through that, our students will be able to study 1 semester and come back. Maybe University of Wisconsin Madison is highly ranked. But it's a fee-paying semester abroad. But in addition, more importantly, we are entering into MOU with the Colorado School of Mines, which is more than 150-year-old university, where our students will be able to get through 3+2, and they are able to complete their masters 1 year shorter. 3+2 program is well known to our students. So the same program we are trying to work with Iowa State University, as I said, Colorado School of Mines, Drexel University, again it is 150-year-old university, and the other university which are coming up, we will be updating very regularly. So that's one thing where our students will be able to get their masters with a lot of advantage, either the time period in terms of tuition fee, our students will be able to get that advantage. So as I said, the other countries, which includes, we have signed up MOU with the German institutions, universities from France. For example, University from France, we have signed with the University of Orleans, which is 600-year-old university. So oldest university in the European region. So we have signed a MOU with France institution. We are entering into a MOU with the Australian university for our students to get into masters. So we have signed a MOU with the Malaysian university for exchange program. So
basically what we are trying to say is, you pay in the Indian rupees as a fees, and earn in Germans, and earn in European dollars, earn in pounds if you want to. Lovely. Superb. So these sort of all the programs that we have lined up, how do we actually select a student? I mean, is it on merit, or how is one student getting selected to go to these countries?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, once we set up Office of International Affairs here, our objective is every student in the campus should get them international exposure.
Right,
International
right.
exposure doesn't mean they should go abroad. We wanted to bring in a lot of very renowned professor from foreign country to teach in our campus.
Oh.
They will be staying here for a month or two to teach some specific courses to students.
Beautiful.
So the objective is every student in Presidency should be internationally exposed. That's a single liner which we have for International Affairs Office.
Right.
So when it comes to international exposure, we are trying to do different things like research internships for our students. You name a renowned institution in the world, for example CERN, which is in the border of Switzerland and France.
Yes,
So anyone can enter either from Switzerland or from France.
Correct.
Which is world's biggest research lab, where www was invented from that lab.
Wow.
So there is a good opportunity for our students to get some intern there, even though it's a merit based, they select. So the selection what you talked about, it depends on the opportunities. So it is not that it is not restricted to only students who are performing very well in academics. Obviously they are going to have advantage, edge over the others, but every student will get a chance. It's not that only academically doing well will only get a chance. So depends on their academic credential, the opportunity varies. That's
Also on the projects they do, also on their varied interests.
Exactly.
Right. Lovely.
See, academic credential is one part. As a student, as a student, if I'm very skilled in certain areas, definitely I have a bright chance other than the academic credentials. So even I may have some 6.5 CGPA, just quite less compared to other students, but I have certain specific skills. Yes, they have a very good advantage in terms of getting great opportunities.
Beautiful. And also when we speak about student exchange program, are we also sending, see, of course, we are sending our Presidency University students to abroad. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Are the other country students coming into our country and learning our stuff? Is it there also?
Yeah, actually, that's one of the biggest question in India. Actually, when we sign an agreement, it is always bilateral.
Correct.
Supposed to be bilateral.
Correct, obviously.
But in many cases, it's not actually bilateral. It is always unilateral, Indian students going abroad.
Right.
But there can be a lot of students coming in from countries like France, Malaysia. Especially in France, at the master's level, there is a mandatory semester abroad program. They should do semester abroad, so they look at India as one of the best destinations.
Obviously.
So down the line, we will definitely have quite few number of students coming from France, countries like Malaysia to here to do one semester. So in my earlier institution, we had close to 100 students coming from these countries under exchange program, includes France, Germany, Taiwan and all those.
Right.
So we wanted to do the same thing at Presidency as
obviously. And see what I was trying to even think about is, see, those students come in to learn basically somewhere deep rooted into something like Indian culture, more than like say learn a tabla, learn a flute, learn something on Bharatanatyam sort of things, more than the education basis. I think their program will also have these things, isn't it?
Definitely. See, once we talk about foreign exchange programs, it is not only technical skills, it's one part. More than that, the cultural exposure is more important than the technical exposure. Technical exposure is definitely the important thing, but in addition, when our students going abroad, their students coming here, they should get exposed to our culture, our language, our tradition. Like we teach yoga in my earlier institution. When we bring in students, we conduct special programs on yoga. We take them around the city. So we need to do all those in addition to the technical skills.
Lovely, fantastic. Actually talking to you, and also நீ வந்து நம்ம தமிழர் அப்படின்றது எனக்கு ரொம்ப மிகப்பெரிய பெருமை. பட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் அங்கேயே முடிக்க முடியாது. ஏன்னா நம்ம தமிழர் ஆகிட்டு நம்மளுக்கு எப்படி ஒரு இட்லி வடை எவ்வளோ பிடிக்குமோ, தைவான்ல நீங்க ஏதாவது பிடிச்ச ஒரு உணவு நீங்க வந்து கண்டிப்பா சொல்லி ஆகணும். So whatever you are trying to talk about Taiwan so much, we need to know actually what actually Taiwanese people eat generally.
No, actually the rice வந்து ரொம்ப நார்மல் in Taiwanல rice எல்லாரும் சாப்பிடுவாங்க. It is not Chinese food. Rice is very common. The fried rice especially when நான் போயிருக்கும்போது நிறைய fried rice, ஏன்னா அதுதான் நமக்கு ரொம்ப தெரிஞ்ச food. But other foods like egg based, like other things are very common. The only thing in Taiwanese food is they're not too spicy. That's the only difference. Otherwise, it matches with the Indian culture in terms of food also. More importantly, since you talked more about Taiwan,
Yeah. இல்ல நான் உணவு பத்தி ஏன் கேட்டேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிடுறேன். ஏன்னா நம்ம தலைவர் ரஜினி சார் எப்பவுமே சொல்லுவாரு, நான் ஏதோ பேசுற மாதிரி இருக்கும் ஆனா பேசுறதுக்குள்ள ஒரு சின்ன அர்த்தம் இருக்கு அப்படின்ற மாதிரி. The reason why I spoke about food is because when students go out, parents generally feel that one fear. Of course, where do they stay? That is one thing. But the bigger fear is what do they eat? You know, that's the reason I put out the food question
That's
out.
great, yes.
You know, wherein parents should not be even bothered. Because when the man himself is saying that, you know, it's almost similar as Indian foods,
Yes.
and less of spice,
Yes.
so no gastric issues. So fantastic. Yeah.
Actually, food, no, our Indian students cook themselves very well.
Obviously.
Maybe when I go, I eat in students' rooms.
Oh.
They cook very well, because you compare Indian education system and Taiwanese education system. So they are in-depth studies.
Acha.
They are not horizontally. They are more going to vertical. Our, for example,
அதாவது ஒரே பேப்பர் படிச்சிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. That's how it is. In depth they'll be reading.
In a semester, they do 2-3 courses.
Correct.
We teach about 8 to 9 courses in a semester. They do
We
just
want to be multi-talented, boss.
Yes. but they because they get a lot of free time.
Yeah.
So they cook, they eat. It's very common there.
Beautiful. And also for students and parents watching, what will be that one thing that you will be telling them for their programs in foreign countries?
Yep.
And please also conclude on those lines, also saying what is the country's need that we are actually doing this? I mean, how is it beneficial for the country as a whole? For India, how is it beneficiary?
To answer the first part, as a student, you are supposed to follow few things if you wanted to take up the opportunity.
Right.
First thing, definitely you need to perform decently well in academics. I am not telling you should score 9.5 CGPA, decently well.
Right.
And you please learn practical skills. Your theoretical skills are not going to help anywhere. If you are a computer science, learn programming skills in a strong way.
Can't be a cheerleader is what you're saying.
Yes. Be a technically strong person than academic credentials. And keep doing small projects. That's going to help a lot in terms of your career. Whether you go abroad or don't go abroad, when you do small projects, you are going to learn a lot compared to your theoretical studies. So keep doing small project work. I always tell, please apply passport well in advance. Don't wait for till last minute. I have seen students, they get opportunity, they don't get passport at the end. So they miss out the opportunity. That's for the student side to prepare themselves.
Exactly. We need to say that the moment you get your voter ID, get your passport. 18 years, get your passport done.
Yes, exactly. And on the other side, how we are going to get benefit? That's the next important question which you raised.
Yes.
So you know, our government of India has come up with a new notification on semiconductor policies. Now government of India is going to invest few lakhs crore in semiconductor. So you take Taiwan. They are the semiconductors pioneers in the world. So once our students goes there, for example, I work with a professor who has more than 100 US patents on IC fabrication.
My God.
I collaborate with him and published a few papers on IEEE transaction. So I know some of my students working in his lab, even their project is fabrication of a small IC. So that is the kind of exposure our students will get once they go abroad. So once they come back, again they are going to replicate, they are going to follow the same thing here to develop our technology, either in terms of semiconductor. You talk about latest advanced technology like artificial intelligence or machine learning or intelligent machinery, whatever you talk, they are going to get exposed to the real technology in the foreign country. So when they come back, they are going to execute the same thing in our country too.
Actually, so a lot of opportunities for startups, lot of scope where you can learn so much from the abroad nations and come and implement it in our country.
Exactly.
That's fantastic and really lovely to once again have you, speak to you so much. And after the video, he's promised me to cook a Taiwanese egg fried rice for me. I will taste and see how is that.
Even we have a kitchen inside.
We have a kitchen, Taiwanese kitchen inside. Just joking. Please keep watching more videos on our Presidency University YouTube channel, and everybody please watching it again, make sure that the foreign exchange program is all set and the international affairs office is all set in our Presidency University. So please come along and join and have fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Lovely.